There we Oops. There we go. Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. Sorry. Computer restarted. My mic screwed up. But today, let's talk about Bitcoin. You know, what happened to the dip? Bitcoin is right back up. And not only that, major movement with the alts. They're pumping, including Solana, Avalanche, and many others. And there's a very, very bullish indicator that echoes a 400% price rally. So, let's talk about it more. All right, let's do this. Welcome. Again, sorry for the mic interruption. I'm going to have to cut that out after the stream. But, you know what? Look at this. Let's start out with today, the U.S. market is looking pretty green. Once again, yesterday was super green. Today, still green. We got some more economic data. That's good. But overall, we're seeing a good rally. Like I said yesterday, I created several videos yesterday. Hey, dips happen, okay? Small corrections happen. That doesn't mean anything has changed. In fact, if anything, you got to look at them as buying opportunities, right? You're presented with a gift of cheaper cryptos. And that's exactly what people did. People are loading up, and that's why we have a really good recovery today. Not only that, you could say a pretty good rally. Some of these alts have been going up like crazy since yesterday. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But what's happening in the U.S. market right now? Well, we got another piece of data showing inflation is going down. Wholesale prices fell 0.5% in October. Biggest monthly drop since April of 2020. That's pretty good, right? CPI showed we're going down. Wholesale price showing we're going down. Everything's going down, yet nothing is getting cheaper. So I don't know how they're measuring this, okay? But we'll take it, I guess. It gets people excited, gets Wall Street excited, and gets them to put money back in. So we'll see where this leads to. I know Treasury rates went down, which means mortgage rates went down, which is overall a good thing. Okay, and there's more economic data is coming out this week. But I guess we're moving in the right direction. And at the very least, we know this guy right here is not thinking about any more rate hikes. What he's starting to think about is rate cuts. When do I start the very first cut? And how far should I start? Or, yes, no, how much should I cut? So when is it going to start? Probably sometime in 2024, mid-2024, I believe, right? Like, at the very least, we don't have to worry about another FOMC meeting where he may decide to raise the Fed fund rate again. No, that's out of the picture. 0% now. If you look at the prediction for December, it's 0%. No one thinks there's any possibility that there will be another rate hike. So that's out of the picture now. That's good, unless we somehow see inflation shoot up again next month. But yeah, so we're at least past that. Okay, but going back to Bitcoin and crypto, well, you know, a spot Bitcoin ETF is right around the corner. We got Global X. They just updated their filing. Now, there's probably one or two reasons why they did this. One is the SEC asked them to, and basically said, if you make this small correction, it's a done deal. Or two, you know, they're trying to fix something that, again, you know, maybe the SEC said or someone else said or whatever. They're just trying to stay on top of it. But their deadline is coming up very soon. In fact, in less than a week, right? 11/21. But we have a couple other ones that are pending for this week, okay? And overall, there's this window, right, before all these other ones are due, and that's in January. So a lot of analysts think that without giving a first mover's advantage to anyone, that the SEC may just pick a time frame where they say yes, and that automatically approves everyone. So there's that. So I don't know if, you know, I don't know what the SEC is going to do. I don't know what Gary's going to do. Does he want to give approval to one first and then say yes to everything else, or wait for a period where he could just say yes to everyone. I don't know, but it's just, again, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when, not if at this point. We have so many spot Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum spot ETFs too, led by the likes of BlackRock. When BlackRock wants something, they tend to get it. And you know what? According to Coinbase, it's not just about new capital. Well, it really is. It's really about just new capital. A ton of capital. Trillions of capital. That's what it's about. But according to this Coinbase exec, it's also about new investor types, like retirement funds, who would not dare to buy spot Bitcoin, okay? Retirement funds will certainly not be holding real Bitcoin, but they will be holding spot Bitcoin ETFs, okay? So that's the difference. There will be new investor types coming into the space, but ultimately it's really about enabling new capital, because that just means there's more money that are getting ready, right? Or will be coming into this space. That's what it's about. And it's going to be enormously huge, unlike anything that we have ever seen before. Okay, so that's just right around the corner. That's why so many people are so happy right now. But this really overshadows the fact that we have a halving event coming up. I don't see enough headlines talk about the halving event. Everyone's just talking about spot Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, it's going to be huge. But people are not talking enough about the halving event, which is coming up in April. That's only 5 months away. Okay? That is the biggest thing of all. That's the one thing that leads all rallies every single cycle, right? And no one's really talking about it, but I'm talking about it, and you guys know about it. That is coming up next year, early next year, okay? So leading up to that, we have something that's echoing a 400% bull run. 400%. That's not bad. But that's, that's actually a conservative number considering where we are right now. 400% gain from our 36,000. That's only about like 130,000, right? That is actually a conservative number. But what prompted this? A couple things. Number one, there is a macro index which combines over 40 of the most powerful Bitcoin on-chain and macro market metrics all into one, okay? So this is infallible, is basically what they're saying. I don't know if that's true, but basically this is predicting when a bull run starts. And whenever you see this chart cross into the positive territory above zero, that usually means we are in a bull run. And not only that, the most bullish phase of a bull run, the parabolic phase. So you could see it happened sometime in 2012 before, and then sometime happened before 2017, 2016. We also had this happen in 2020. And if this didn't cut off on the right side, take my word for it, is showing that we are flipping above right now. Okay, this is cut off because it's just too big. Let me see if I can find a smaller one here. Yeah. So if you look at the very right side, that shows we have just crossed above. Okay, which means we're entering the most bullish and the most parabolic phase of this cycle. Okay, that is what is going to lead to a 400% pump from here on out, rally, right? But again, 400% is very conservative. Many people are calling for way higher, maybe like an 800%, going up above 200,000. But you know what? This is over 40 on-chain metrics, okay? So if anything's going to be right, I would assume this would be right. And then also, if you're looking at this short term, before we get up to 150 or 200,000 short term, what we're seeing right now is not a whole lot of resistance from where we are going all the way up until we hit about 59,000. That's when we will hit some resistance, and then 65,000. But if you look at the right-hand side and you look at all the volume and where everything lies, you'll see that, yeah, everything is below. Like, there's a ton of volume right where we are, and below 30,000, 25,000. But if you get above, there's really little. It's very, very, very little, right? So that means if we get a spot Bitcoin ETF, not only can we push into the 40s, maybe we push right into the 50s, okay? Maybe if we get a spot Bitcoin ETF within this next week, by the end of this year, we're pushing into the well into the 50,000s to close out the year. Think about that if that happens. It would not surprise me, especially if you combine it with the Santa rally that's coming up. So, I mean, the only thing I could say to that is just strap on and get ready. It's going to be phenomenal. All right, but longer term, you know, a couple things from Plan B, stock to flow is still looking good, right? We deviated a little bit this last cycle, but we're coming right back up. We're coming right back up. And if Bitcoin was following the stock to flow value, it should be already at 51,000. So this notion that we could close out the year well into the 50s, that's not outrageous at all. Because according to stock to flow, we should already be there. So is it really outrageous to close the year in the 50s? Not really. Not really at all. And if you're looking at RSI, one of the most basic indicators out there, you know what? It's just showing that, yeah, we barely started coming up. We're definitely in recovery. We don't see any red dots because RSI is nowhere near top, you know, nowhere near the top. And in this cycle around, you see how diminishing return RSI started at like 100, then went to like 97, then like 95, then about 92. This time around, we make a top out maybe like 90. So we still got a long ways to go before we hit that top. Okay? And here's another chart that shows you what is going on right now. Very similar to the 2016 run. Very, very similar, coming off from top, going to bottom. We have very similar recovery patterns. And again, if we're mimicking what has happened before, yeah, we're going to head much, much higher, right? A lot of these fractal patterns, when you zoom out, they look so similar. Like Bitcoin is just moving according to plan. Like nothing really concerns Bitcoin. It shouldn't. Bitcoin isn't a person. It doesn't have feelings. It just continues to move forward. And then lastly about Bitcoin, I'll just show you the open interest, all-time high. So the institutional players, they definitely have a lot of FOMO right now. They just want to get in. They just want to put all their money into this space right now. Everything else, up until yesterday, everything else out there, the bonds, equities, everything, complete mess, right? And I would argue it's not completely fixed either. There are still some worries out there with our economy, okay, with our government. But there's no worries with Bitcoin. Everyone knows the halving event's coming out. Spot Bitcoin ETF approval is coming up. And there's many other catalysts coming up, including SEC losing major lawsuits along the way. Elon's X may be coming out with a payment system that incorporates crypto, okay? And on top of that, you have a presidential election. And who knows what else is there? Well, if the economy gets better too and we get rate cuts, that also helps. Okay, and then we still have worldwide adoption right now. Many countries that are fully embracing Bitcoin, including Argentina. I mean, these are all, you know, they're going to just bring in trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions into this space. Phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. All right, what else is phenomenal? Well, besides Bitcoin breaking above 36,000 again, Ethereum breaking above 2,000 again, which is good, but man, you know, you got someone like Solana that just won't quit. It just will not quit. Yesterday, it dropped to like low 50s. Then at nighttime, I said Solana is coming up at 57. Now it's above 60. It just will not quit. Okay, so Solana is very, very strong right now. But also, you got Chainlink that's trying to break above 15, trying to go up. Polygon is still holding really well, right? But you got someone like Avalanche that's trying to break above 20 today, just rallying up. And if you scroll down a little more, you'll notice you got guys like Chronos, which has fallen a lot recently, but is trying to come right back up 30%. You got Caspa. I can't explain Caspa, but it's up 25%. You got Lido, which is a liquidity staking provider, major liquidity provider in DeFi space, up 13%. And you got many others like Thorchain, which is also a DeFi project, up 15%. Near is joining in the game, joining in the party, I should say, up 5%. You got a lot of really good greens today, as if yesterday didn't happen. But I think this is happening is because people are smart now. You guys have been watching me forever. You guys know you don't have to be afraid of the dips. Don't be afraid of them. Embrace them. Utilize them and stack sats or stack SOL or stack ADA or stack AVAX, right? That's what you do. You stack. And you stack some more. And you DCA over time. Today, speaking of stacking, today's Wednesday. So tonight, I'm going to show you guys my DCA portfolio. And tonight, I'm going to do something. I just got an idea from someone. You know, for a time period, I did this like degen trading during my stream. So tonight, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some real degen stuff. So tonight, I'm going to start the stream with like a 25x on something that I like. And then we'll see where it ends up at the end of the stream. Just to have some fun, even though you should not play with leverage or degen stuff. Anyways, all right, let's do some Q&A. Got 4,700 people in here. Welcome, everyone. I had some mic issues at the beginning. I have to get that cut out. All right, let's see. Scrolling up here. Chris bought some Injective. Goodbye. Injective has been really strong within the last month. I just went to the grocery store and deli hummus was $16. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. All these economic data show inflation's going down, yet nothing is really going down. In terms of food and services, cost of living has not gone down at all. Why the drop in XRP? I don't know. Well, I mean, everything dropped recently, but you know, last 7 days, man, just look at Solana in the top 10. It may be flipping XRP soon, the way it's going. And there's just a whole bunch of institutional interest. I forgot I didn't even cover my stories that I was going to show for all. I got carried away. Speaking of Solana, why is it so hot? I mean, there's a lot of institutional interest right now. So according to CoinShare, Solana is like, the inflows into Solana is crazy. More than, well, year to date, it's more than Ethereum and everyone else besides Bitcoin. But even in a week, it's doing pretty good. And during the month, it's pretty good. And it's not more than Ethereum, but keep in mind, its market cap is much smaller. So, yeah. I don't have anything to show for Avalanche, but Avalanche is terrific. They're onboarding a lot of AAA games. I don't know about a lot, but at least a few. And that could change the landscape. BTC is forming a huge cup and handle. That sounds pretty good. Let's see. The Feezy says, why y'all so late? Y'all had 2 years to buy a rock bottom, no 50x for you. I mean, When Bitcoin was around 15, 16, 17, 20,000, I've been saying the same thing as I am now. You know, the future is going to be bright. This cycle is going to end. $200,000. You want to load up. You want to stock up, right? But no one wanted to listen when we were at below 20,000. Now people are paying attention, okay? But even now, we're still low. Wait until we break into the 50s. Then people will really pay attention, and that's when they really want to FOMO, right? But unfortunately then, most of the gains, they already lost. But you guys are in the space. You guys did not, right? Let's see. Ross, I have no idea what you're talking about. Joe asked about the Coinbase custodial wallet. Is it good for a beginner? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. If you have a Coinbase account, it's really easy to transfer over. But even if you don't have a Coinbase account, it's a nice wallet. It's a nice wallet. Although, if you're looking for just a nice mobile wallet, a non-custodial wallet, I would highly suggest looking at Trust Wallet instead. Trust Wallet just supports more chains. Coinbase, for the most part, only supports ERC, which is Ethereum-based coins, and Solana. I don't know if they expanded into other chains, but Trust Wallet supports plethora of chains. And it does everything that Coinbase Wallet does, except it doesn't have that close integration with Coinbase. So I guess it just depends on if you want that or not. People are still asking about Celestia. The only thing is it's it's going through a Coinbase effect. Nothing else really explains why it's been going up so much. I don't even know where it is. I might have missed it. Where did it go? It had like 800 million market cap. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's still going up very well. It could, I mean, at this point, it's closing in at 1 billion. Is it far-fetched to see it go up, to 1 billion? No. But is it better than the others that are around the 1 billion? Not at this point. But, it has the momentum. But anything that has gone up 200% for the month, you gotta be careful with that. Okay? Even yesterday, it didn't go down. So just be careful. At some point, it's going to find that top. And it's going to slow down. And not only slow that, it could go down too. But, yeah. DJ Roman, Vulcan Forge. Yeah, I've been paying attention to him. Obviously, I speak to Jamie sometimes. He has big plans for Vulcan, and Vulcan is doing very well. It's closing it at 200 million. And they're up 15%, 16% today. Vulcan has a lot of things going on, and mostly they're trying to promote their new L1 chain, Elysium. So yeah, they could be a real contender to Kala. They don't really operate the same as Gala, but in terms of the second biggest gaming platform or project, I think it has to be Vulcan. I don't know anyone else that's at this kind of market cap. Nate, I'll catch you tonight. Tonight will be fun. Tonight I'm going to throw out 20x or 25x or 30x at something, and we'll see where it goes. Just for fun. I actually have this idea to start degen trading. See if every time I trade I can make $500, but maybe I just incorporate into my live streams, make it even more entertaining. Can CPI data be manipulated? Oh, of course it can. I mean, who's actually like giving out these numbers, right? Like whoever the official person is, I'm sure they could fudge some numbers or they could be bribed or whatever. I mean, like, I'm sure these numbers could be rigged, okay? Because sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Like yesterday I showed, CPI going down 3.2%, but I showed this chart of all these things are still 5, 6, 10% higher year to year. So how do we have a 3.2% inflation rate? It doesn't make sense. This shows wholesale prices fell 0.5%. But have any of you guys noticed any of your grocery items getting cheaper? Not me. I haven't noticed anything getting cheaper at all. Especially when you go out to eat. It's crazy expensive now every time you go out. What about Quant? It's top 50 not talked about. I've always said this. Quant is a B2B play, okay? They're not interested in B2C. So they're not interested in the onboarding DEXs or liquidity pools or swaps or NFT marketplaces or NFTs or tokenization. They don't do any of that. They just help businesses get in. So good for them, but just not interesting to me. Do you think AI pad is worth holding on or is it a scam? I don't know. Some kind of launch pad for which chain? Well, considering it's 415,000, then yeah, I would say that's probably a scam. I'm not even going to look at that. Ryan, appreciate that. Why is ADA not moving? Okay, ADA always goes through periods like this. It is moving, okay? It's up 50% in the last 30 days. So it is moving. But it tends to move in waves. And sometimes ADA waves take a long time before they happen. And then they all of a sudden hit. So it's always like that with Cardano. Always. Ever since the beginning. Like it's just really stagnant and then all of a sudden starts moving. But, it's up 50%. Up 50% for the month, which is better than a lot. Better than XRP, better than BNB, better than Doge, better than Tron, right? Better than a lot within the last 30 days. So can't really complain about that. BNB, on the other hand, has been really, really slow. So slow, in fact, I think it could be the next one to move because BNB also does that. When talking about waves, BNB waves come once a year. It never really moves all that much until it does. So that could be another one that could be moving soon. What about Bonk? Asking it over and over. What about it? It's a meme coin. You can't say anything about it. It either pumps or it doesn't. That's it. Don't ask about meme coins. It's like, what do you want me to say? There's nothing going on with it. It's just like people that are deciding to pump it or not. That's really what it comes down to. What will Sol do if Bitcoin moves 400%? Sol will probably go 1,000%, if not more, if that happens. So that'll put Solana right around $600. So Bitcoin hits like 120, 150. I think Solana is gonna be like 600. So people have been asking me, is it possible for Solana to hit 1,000 by the end of 2025? It seems so far-fetched, right? Like 1,000 from 62, that's just insane. There's no way that can happen, right? There's zero chance of it happening, right? Well, but look at it. It was at 270 this last cycle. That's way higher than what it is now. So basically, you're just talking about a 4x from its previous top. Can that happen? Well, if you look at it that way, it's not so far-fetched. I still think there's an off chance, little chance of that happening. But can it do a 2x or maybe a 3x from its previous high, which would place it between like $600 and $800? With as much money that is anticipated in terms of what's coming in, that certainly is a possibility. Even Kathy Wood was talking about Solana yesterday. Did you see Kathy Wood talking about Gary Gensler? No. I saw her talking about Bitcoin and Solana and Ethereum, but not about it. Reese, stop doing all the ats. Okay. Do you think Render Network will eventually become more dominant with their AI integration? Hopefully. People confused them being in the AI space before when they were not. Their only purpose was to render 3D stuff. Like 3D animations and stuff like that. They were never into AI. I don't know if their new plan is to move in AI. It makes sense to utilize those GPUs for AI computations like what Flux is doing. So if they do that successfully, then yes. But people always, I don't think they really understood what Render was about. But they're having a good recovery day today. Will you do a stream and go over all small cap projects you were bullish on back in 2020, 2022, kind of like where they are now kind of episode? It's a good idea, but to be honest, no, because most people don't care about them anymore. So as they come up and as we move in the bull cycle, then I'll talk about them slowly, but there's not that many. Most of them have either gone away or they have become big caps or at least decent mid caps. A lot of them just died, to be quite honest. I can't even pronounce it. Okay, could you look at LQ, the highest TVL lending on Cardano, 50 more than Meld, CoinGecko, and CoinMarketCap stats are wrong. Well, if they're both wrong, I don't know how I'm going to look at it because, yeah. 1 million market cap? Come on, man. I know you keep talking about Gala. Now you're bringing up something that's a 1 million market cap. That's just too low for me to look at right now. It needs to show that it could sustain itself. It needs to get at least above 10, 15, 20 million. Teresa, I don't know why you're up at 3:40 a.m. But thank you for your support. Are you still doing your Vegas get-together July and August? No. I've decided I'm not doing any conference like that. I'm doing smaller meetups at all the major conferences like Consensus and Bitcoin 2024 and Mainnet and whatever else, Token 2049. I want to start traveling to a lot of these conferences more in 2024, and I'll have network meetups events at each one. So it'll be easier for you guys to attend if you're like local, right? And it's just easier overall to plan. Speaking of meetups, there is one coming up in Vegas already. Hopefully you guys don't miss it. Okay, the IFC kickoff party. So IFC is the Influencer Fight Club, right? It's going to be me, the other fighters there. There'll be several projects there as well, and other influencers that's participating either from a marketing perspective or just being a supporter. So this will be a good one coming up next month. A lot of you guys did buy tickets already, but just to remind you guys, you got 1 month left. So if you're going to participate, make sure you do so. The link is in the description. And if you get a VIP ticket, you get a special VIP I Am George NFT. Very exclusive. Just throwing that out there. Would I ever go to Solana Breakpoint? Yeah, I would consider that. That's one of the major ones. Even some of the ETH conferences like ETH Toronto or ETH Colorado, if the speakers are right, you know, the main point of doing, you know, the events at these major conferences is drawing the people in, you know, like the guest speakers and the projects, right? Getting them in so then, you know what, I become like known for hosting these great network events. That's kind of my mission. So next year I'm going to start doing that. Do you think staking ETH is good? If yes, where? You could do it all over the place. I don't know. You got to have 32 ETH. For most people, they just don't have 32 ETH to do. So you could utilize someone like Lido. So they're like a liquid staking provider. They're not as safe, but you could do it with smaller amounts. I don't know if that answers your question, but Lido has been around for a while, and I think they're trustworthy. Rocket Pool can also do it. You could stake it into some of these. Where's Lido or Lido, wherever it is. I just saw it. Here we go. They allow to do liquid staking, so not only do stake there, but they also give you a synthetic version of ETH that you could play around with DeFi too. So I would say look at them. Francisco, what about Pepe? I invested 1,000. My portfolio is 100K with the coins you mentioned, including Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and a lot more. What about it? Are you asking if it's a good idea to put some Pepe in there in a 100K portfolio? If you go put $1,000, why not? Why not? You know, Pepe, along with all the meme coins, they have potential to pump majorly. Pepe's at 500 million. Can they get to 5 billion by the end of the cycle? Yeah. That's easy, I think. That's a 10x, right? So if you have a good diversified portfolio already and you want to throw some micro caps or just some degen plays like memes in there, it's okay. But the problem arises when you put too much of it in there. If you're saying, I'm going to put 50% of my 100K portfolio into Pepe, that's when you could really wreck yourself, right? So, but if you're putting like only 1% of it, sure, why not? Go have some fun, you know? Stacks. I like stacks. I like stacks a lot. It's like a framework for DeFi on top of Bitcoin, and there are a lot of developments happening right now in terms of DeFi plays and NFT plays. They're all being built on stacks for Bitcoin. So I like stacks. I like stacks a lot. And Atom, I do like. How would it work when a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved? I want to dump my 401k into it. I mean, technically, you could do GBDC already, which has been doing very, very well. But yeah, when it's out, there'll be a symbol. You know, what's iTrust symbol? Like BTC E or something, or IBTC, and you just buy it. You just buy it with whatever you want, like your 401k, if you wanted to. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Today's a good recovery day. 36.2. A lot of the alts are recovering, right? So it's good to see that you guys are not discouraged from yesterday. Temporary setback, right? Actually, if you look at it, it's not even a setback. It's a gift. Gift to stack at lower prices. That's really it, right? There's so many things coming. We know this. And a 400% run is about to come. And that's only the beginning, really. So smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Tonight, tune in, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to start my new idea, my new degen idea. I think you guys go like it. And also, make sure you check out the IFC kickoff party. If you're interested in having some fun and heading out to Vegas, you know, it's in the description. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.